Hello, all. A warm and a pleasant evening to everyone out there. AI is a buzzword and the word that is ruling the world right now. And it is always a dream for many students to pursue a career in AI, including me, yeah, of course. And a lot of us take the bachelor courses in AI, but don't know or don't have the idea or don't know how to figure out their career, how to plan their 4 year course or their bachelor's, how to do things, how to take care of things in the future. Should I go for a job? Should I go for higher studies? And how do I participate in hackathons? Hackathons is something that is currently ruling or dominating engineering colleges, and it's very fascinating. You have heard and you're terrified by the word, and you're fascinated by the word, but you have no idea on how to do hackathons. Very not. Today we have all this covered in the podcast today. So in this podcast we have our guest Mr. Chandrakanth, who is currently a founding AI engineer in AiGen Media. So he's working for a startup in the US where they're actually working on text to video conversion generation. So it's basically generative AI, LLMs, all the hardcore advanced stuffs that are being in the industry in the market right now. That's what he's working on. He has also done his internship, a 6 month research internship in Capgemini Technologies, and he has won around 5 to 6 hackathons, and he has a continuous winning streak of 3 hackathons. So he has won 3 national hackathons. So that is the guest that we have today. And in this podcast, we are going to talk about his engineering life. How did he plan out his 4 years? How did he learn about AI? How did he get to know about the things? And majorly, we focus a lot on the hackathon part. How about his hackathon journey, his career? How did he get the winning streak? And some tips and advices on how the students can get to know or prepare themselves for hackathon. So, without any further ado, let's just jump into the podcast and get to know about the man from himself. Hello, all. So, as I mentioned in the introduction, so here we have with us Mr. Chandrakanth. Hello, Chandrakanth. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you, Sarah?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm doing good. So let's start with your recent job itself. So what is your job? What are you working at? About your role, the projects you're working on. We can start with that itself.
Okay, so I'm currently working as an AI developer. So currently working in startup. So it's in the early stage. So it's based in US, and the name of the company is AiGen Media. So we are working towards a product where we actually give, let's say, sort of a storybook or let's say a script. So that will be converted into full-blown videos with proper dialogues and with background audio, and it gets stitched together as a whole video without any human intervention. It's like you given an input and it comes out as a video without no intervention. It's like 5-10 minutes and you get the whole video out of it.
Okay, so like basically you're developing on a software tool where you give the script of a story or novel or something, and it will try to generate an animated video with sound, every effects as an entire movie kind of a thing, just from a storyline.
Yes.
Okay, so that sounds great. So that's like some high level thing that is going right now. So can you just talk about what technologies are you working at? What things do you do there?
More since this is mostly generative AI, so most of our work is very well deep inside Python. We write just full on Python codes of just
Okay.
pipeline works because it uses a lot of AI tools like ChatGPT, and we use the recent models. We are always on the state of the art models that come out. Like we have recent O1 models. I'm pretty sure tomorrow I'll be working on the new O1 model. So they have to be always on the state of the art, and we have to experiment with a lot of things because, as I said, this is because we are trying to do something where we have to create video out of it. So
Mhm.
we'll have to be there using different image generation models, audio generation models, but most of the work is done in Python only. So tech wise, it's just pure core Python.
Yeah, so that's nice to hear. What is your take on this? So, like, now you're working in a startup. So, many people, or the conventional stereotype that is there is don't work in startups immediately, go for an MNC and work in a startup. So, or sorry, work in an MNC or not in a startup. So, what's your take on that? What do you think the difference of working in a startup or working in an MNC?
Okay, so My answer, pretty sure, would be biased because I've chosen a startup in this way.
That's okay.
So, like, I would say it's going to be personal preference in this matter because someone who is interested in a fast-paced environment, startup is the best way to go for. And if you are into, you have to go in a set back in a laid back way where I want to go there, and it's more like if you want to do everything fast or you want to go deep. So that's the difference you'll have from an MNC to a startup, because in startup we are going to go in breadth and in depth, but the depth is not going to be too much, but you have to be fast enough to cover a lot of different roles. So again, it's subjective, and it depends upon the kind of personality the person has. So if you want to be in a fast paced environment, go for a startup. There are going to be pros and cons for both, so you have to weigh it out. And yeah, there are some advantages to this. I mean, it's completely subjective. There are any
Yeah,
personal opinion should not be considered in that point.
yeah, that's true, whatever you said. Like, if you want a career growth, but if you want to work in a startup also, you have to give everything out. It's tiring. You have to be multitasking also, right? So,
Yes.
like, how is your work as working in a startup? So, what kind of things you do?
So I am currently in India, so I'm working from home.
Okay,
So part of this company culture currently where I'm working in, the AiGen Media, it's sort of it's fast paced, but I have that freedom where I can technically work even for 7 days a week if I want to, or I can
okay,
work for 4 to 5 days, just grind it out 14 hours, and if I complete the task, I'm done. So I
okay,
don't have to. I don't always get new tasks, at least at the end of the day. But it's more like task completely complete. So it doesn't matter how long you work, but unless only given the deadline, if you submit it by that time, then you are pretty good. So it's a
okay.
fast-paced environment, but kind of a chill area. So the vibe sets there. So I enjoy working it.
Okay, so that's nice to hear. So before your job, you had worked as an intern for 6 months with Capgemini Technologies. So can you just talk a bit about your internship? What did you do there? What was your experience? And some things related to that.
Right. So Capgemini, okay, that was the first experience I had as in professional work in there. Again, I have
Okay.
to credit Sairam Bro for here to be able to get that internship, because again, I'm for some context. I did my bachelor's from Rajalakshmi College. He is my senior, so he did his
Yes.
bachelor's from biomedical engineering, and I did in artificial intelligence and machine learning. So we met during a hackathon and we connected, and he gave me the opportunity, like, asked, "Do you want to have an internship with Capgemini?" So I think I have to be grateful for him to able to get that experience from there. And yeah, coming to the point where how the experience of Capgemini, it was actually really good. I mean, from just doing personal projects to the scale where how professional projects are done, the kind of things that they look for in a project is completely different. So
Hmm.
the way I worked before the internship and after the internship was really different,
Okay.
because that's the kind of shift I had to how to approach a single problem. So I would say it had a significant impact. So I worked as a deep learning intern there. So I
Okay.
usually the problem set was usually around medical imaging, and medical imaging segmentation, classification, all that part will happen there. But it's not just the regular part. We have to go deep into it to have like real custom architectures and work it out. So it was good. It was a really good experience and a tiring experience too. But it was worth the time.
Yeah, that was true. We used to travel to office in between colleges. We
Yeah.
used to face all those things for 6 months. But for sure, that helped us both in our career,
Yes.
because the difference that we had, whatever you said is true and appropriate, because the kind of projects that we do before and the project we did in the internship was completely different, and the expectations they had or the perfection that they needed was a lot more, and working for that we even learnt a lot of new things.
Exactly.
So you had mentioned that you worked in a medical imaging project, and which is actually like not your domain basically. So you are an AIML, you are a student who have like done your bachelor's in AIML, how were you able to fit in a medical imaging, which is more like a biomedical side of a application? So what preparation did you do? How did you make yourself ready for this project?
Okay, so again, I think one of the reasons why some of the people who take computer science is because they hate biology. But this was again for me a little bit controversial to my own self because I didn't want to get into bio because I hated that. That's why I chose computer science. But I'm again
Okay.
doing something in biology, at least something related to healthcare. So okay, so it was a bit. I was a bit taken aback. Like, okay, do I really have to do? But again, provided the opportunity, at least given in a company like Capgemini, I don't want to decline it. So
Mm-hmm.
I, got up and thought, okay, probably will have to give it a try in the bio field. And I thought,
Mm-hmm.
I went down, I started looking at what these basic terminologies that exist in those parts. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
understand what sagittal, the XYZ plane had a different names for in
Yes,
the
yes,
medical.
yes,
term.
yes.
Why do you have a name? It's called XYZ plane. And I'm like, okay, so this is something I have to learn. Okay, right. So I mean, it's part of the study that I have to do. So I started understanding different parts. Okay, and we look at how the architectures are actually designed for these cases are very different, the neural networks. So it's
Mm.
not regular like add four dense layers and you had one, some other layer and you're done, like last layer done. No, this is not that way. So you have to actually go deep into the research, understand what they have done,
Yeah.
and why they have done, and what impacts each layer is having. So I mean, as I mean, I was in second year during that time, so end of second year. So with that knowledge, I was able to understand some part of it, and during the internship, I learned a lot. So I learned how to actually map these kind of changes over there. So there are different correlations that happen with the kind of tech we have to use for medical and just neural networks. I think it was actually a good experience that because currently where how the field is going is you need to have some other domain knowledge. I'm really
Mm.
happy that I actually got into medical because I actually
Okay.
have some kind of knowledge, basic knowledge about a different domain.
Mhm.
So that was actually good.
Okay. So regarding this, now I have a question. So is it necessary for us to learn medical in order to do a medical AI project, or how is that? How is your take on this question?
Not core about not how you did, at least not that level is not required, at least for the beginner stage. Probably if you're going to go deep into that field, sure, it's always good to have the background knowledge. But to start, the beginners, there are enough YouTube videos, and usually those videos are underrated because they're just 10K, 20K views, and they give a
Mm-hmm.
really good introduction about how to get into medical imaging. So the basic knowledge is mandatory to start. So after that, it's just your interest and how deep you want to go into that field. But yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, so that's really nice because we both are completely opposite. So I did
Yeah.
my bachelor's in biomedical and I knew my applicative domain and I went into that. You on the other side, you were more on the tech side. So you took your bachelor's in AI/ML and then you went to learn on the domain. So we both have different views. So that's why I just wanted to know. But over whatever you said was true. Like if there are always basics, so that is what you need to do, right? Because as a CS engineer or as an AI engineer you must be flexible to work with every domains, so
Yes.
that is how you should work.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, given the fact that I have interest in different fields, it actually helped me there. Just that knack to get into what's and how's of the different fields is quite enough to give a head start into that field.
Okay, that's nice. That's how the spirit should be for CS or AI engineers. Because from my side, it's fixed that, okay, man, I'm doing my bachelor's in biomedical, so I feel I should work on this domain only. But for you guys, you really have to have the flexibility and adaptability to understand each domain and then work on them so that you have a good resume. So coming to
Yeah.
that point, so you have graduated from your bachelor's and you have finished your 4 years degree. So can you just talk about your education? How was your bachelor's in AI/ML? Or maybe before that, why did you want to choose AI/ML after 12th when you wanted to go to college? Why did you choose the degree AI/ML?
So okay, I this thing started when Alpha Zero came out. So this was
Okay.
2017, 18. I
Okay.
used to be a chess enthusiast, so Alpha Zero, chess, everything just related up there.
Yes.
And I was actually very intrigued that okay, something is happening really big in the field of AI, and it just caught my attention. I
Okay.
looked at different documentaries, and that's where the entire thing started. I either wanted to do C. Actually wanted to do CS,
Okay.
some special with specialization in AI, but getting a degree just in AI, I think it was the sweet spot I was trying to get. Ultimately, I want to get into AI, but I have an
Okay.
entire degree based on an AI, so I thought I would probably take the chance.
Okay.
And yeah, with how college went, yeah, I would say it's a good of an experience. Uh, Again, AI is in the transitionary period where you can't just fixate on one part of the syllabus. Yes, you
That's
might
true.
learn the fundamentals. They'll teach you the fundamentals, but the point is, people have started learning the fundamentals like just 5, 6 years ago, and you're not tend to you can't expect the best quality out of the professors unless and until you are in the best. Like they have to be working in the current field there. So, given any college, not our college, any college, people will have the fundamental knowledge there, but you can't expect too good of an the practical experience. So, if that has to happen, especially in how fast AI is moving, you need to have your own set of different videos that you have to look at, and you have to be always on the run to stay updated with all the different models and architecture that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So irrespective of any degree
Yeah.
that you do, you have to be on the run and always getting updated. So that's how it is. And but I would say college gave me a good solid foundation for the basics. I wouldn't stop there, but I mean I won't neglect college there because I had a good foundation. I was able to get the job too. I didn't have to like sure we prepare for interviews and
Mm-hmm.
for different interviews, but most of it is from memory. I think college gave me a good foundation there. I got a lot of information and knowledge about the basics of AI, so I was able to build upon it pretty fast.
Yeah, so that's really great to hear. Like, because at least you had a fundamental idea, so you were inspired by the Alpha Zero. Many people are just like, come on, AI is something you let me learn. Like, because, I'll be frank, why I took biomedical. I appeared for NEET. I couldn't get decent enough marks. I couldn't become a doctor. So, what's the next thing? Do something in biology to take biomedical. So, I had no clue, and just because of the name, I just joined the course. But you had a clear idea before, and you got inspired by something which was really great. And coming to this fact, man, this is the issue with every department or every concept you take, because the field is very rapidly growing and AI is very dynamic and it is changing day to day. Teachers or professors are not able to grapple that so good, because they maybe whatever you said is true, that learning the fundamentals from college is important, but they are not as like they don't have that much knowledge on the things that are going on right now. That's the issue with every engineering domain, whatever we take. So that's nice to hear. And how the next question is, how did you plan your 4 years? So since you already had an idea on AI, so how did you plan your first, second, third? So can we just move on 1 year at a time? So what did you do in your first year? How was your first year like?
Right. So, see, interest doesn't mean you always have a plan. Interest means you have an
Okay.
interest to go learn. So, I had zero plan on how to start with AI. I'll be very frank in that part. So, I started in 2020, COVID year, college mostly from home, and just online classes. First year was not pretty much not because first year all they teach is regular engineering concepts, and it's this in regular CS stuff they do mechanical civil. It's all well known, and that's the first year, and it mostly at home. Sometimes you watch the lecture, sometimes you don't. You just watch some of the series on the side. It happens, and yeah, or sometimes that's where I actually started. Going through different concepts in AI. So the point is, there is, I think there's a very well-known Venn diagram where we have there is machine learning and then we have deep
Mm-hmm.
learning. So deep
Yeah, yeah,
learning is
yes.
a subset of machine learning, right?
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
I came to know about this book called Intro to TensorFlow using using
Yes, yes, yes.
into the deep learning using TensorFlow, Scikit, and some
Yeah,
book.
yeah, I've also heard that book. Yeah.
It's from O'Reilly. That, and there was
Mm-hmm.
another book similar in that part. I downloaded that part.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. I skipped the entire machine learning. I went straight into deep learning. Didn't
Okay.
understand anything. I think I took some free Audacity course.
Okay.
They did the fashion MNIST. I didn't understand that it was fashion. I didn't understand what MNIST was. And
Okay.
the images, I don't know. I didn't understand a single piece of code. And
Okay.
by this time, I mean, I've experimented web development, app development,
Hmm.
3D, game design. I did literally everything available in CS, and I was doing AI too. So
Okay.
this happened, and second year, I thought, okay, let's cut down the rest of it. Let's boil down to AI. I want to focus on
Okay.
just AI. So again, I made the first mistake. I wouldn't call it mistake. I was motivated in different fields, but I missed out that I came in for AI, so I have to be stay in AI. So
Well,
second year,
yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah,
whatever you did was right, like because that's how a typical first year should be. Because like even though you have took AI, it's a very specific niche, but it comes to the broader science of computer, broader branch of computer science. And you were exploring, and that's what I would suggest every student in their first year to explore whatever. So what I do in biomedical is there are a lot of core fields inside. So for each, even in AI also we have CV, we have NLP, so we have generative AI, we have RL, so we have a lot of subfields inside. So what I would suggest is in the first year, explore everything, get to know about everything and choose your interest, and then maybe work or fine tune on that. So I feel whatever you done in the first year was not a mistake, and whatever you did was the right thing is what I feel, and that's what I suggest everyone to do also in the first year.
no, again, I misworded it as mistake. I would call it mistake, but
Okay.
a very in-depth exploration going down the rabbit hole. I mean, I
Hmm.
went down the rabbit hole way too deep every single time. So that was one of the regrets that I have, but it's fine. Life is not
But I
perfect.
think when you and me are the same because I also did the same thing. You know, whenever you start learning AI, you start with maths, you start with Python, then go with data science, EDA, data cleaning, then go with machine learning, and then you go into deep learning. But both you
Exactly.
and me skipped everything and we went directly into deep learning.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
really
this
great.
happened. I mean, exactly. So I went to deep learning, and I was discussing it with my friend. I said, I mean, I said, I gave, I mean, I saw the scores and I couldn't understand. He is someone who's also like, we have this group. So they
Okay.
are, again, people will obviously, other people in the class will also learn, right? So we discussed, and he said, bro, there's something called machine learning in between. I didn't know the distinction between machine learning and deep learning. And he said, there's
Okay.
something called machine learning. And I went back, oh, okay, now I had the distinction. Okay, this is machine learning and this is deep learning. So
Okay.
I skipped the entire big part because given the current circumstances, yes, deep learning is big, but machine learning still plays a bigger role. And
Hmm.
most of the practices that they do are based off of machine learning. Okay, and I felt okay, machine learning is actually big. It has a very vast distinctions
Yes.
inside machine learning, and it was again it was more mathematical in that sense. Yes, and I thought I went inside. I thought there was too much math. Again, I was intimidated by too much math. I thought, okay, machine learning is not how I'm going to start. Again, I went into deep learning. I started deep learning again. I
That's
thought, okay,
nice.
we will come with machine learning because by fourth semester we had a subject called fundamentals of machine learning. So I thought, okay, we'll wait until that subject starts. That's the good decision I think I did there. Because let's
Yeah.
wait. I don't want to rush it because we have a proper syllabus there. So I thought
Hmm.
we'll go through that machine learning, but I want to start exploring deep learning. So that's how things happened. Second year, I was doing deep learning and we started attending events. So COVID was happening. So first year, second year was gone. Again,
Hmm.
the first year, sorry, first semester, second semester.
Okay.
Third semester was again we had few days in college, few days were
Hmm.
cut because we had the second wave or third wave. So again we
Yes,
had to
yes.
stop. So actual college started from fourth semester, like 1.5 years
That's
gone.
true.
So again, AML was very new into our college. So our department was
Yes.
forcing to like let's go attend events, let's conduct events and all was there. So I started participating in different events, and fourth semester is what when I had the first hackathon. Basically, like I used to watch videos. Okay, will I be able to even go attend one, or at least get the consolation prize? And fortunately, during my very first hackathon, I was able to win that hackathon. Very fortunate
Yes.
that part. And I mean, our entire team was a little bit shocked that okay, we won our first hackathon. This is not normal.
I think that
And
is where we met the first, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it was a lab, and we were sitting in the first row.
Yes,
You
yes,
guys were
yes,
in the
yes.
second row, and that's exactly
Yes.
where we met. I remember it was very good experience that I had, and too good of an experience that actually started propelling my interest. Where I went deep into especially CV, the computer vision part. I think I went down that rabbit hole pretty well. That's why I was able to again get medical imaging because again that was a part of computer
Yeah,
vision.
true.
So I started exploring CV because I liked working with images there, videos, images, and I did projects based off CV. And second and third year, when that second year end, I mean that fourth semester, fifth semester, I was
Hmm.
completely active with hackathons, conducting events. You know, did some research work. Again, internship was during that part.
Yeah, that's
I
nice.
would say fifth semester was my pretty hectic semester where because we had to conduct events, attend events, internship was going on,
Typical
assignments.
engineering student
Yeah,
life.
yeah. It was hard fifth semester. Then sixth semester it got chill, so we moved towards more conducting events, and we had some research work going on, and classes and there. I was trying for abroad universities during that time, so fourth year it just became like go search for abroad universities,
Yeah,
and the
yeah, okay.
SOPLOR work was there, and that's how the entire college part was. And I actually intended to go abroad, and I
Mm-hmm.
put down the plan. Let's say let's go work for 1 or 2 years, then try abroad or masters again.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't say the last year just didn't go went down the drain because I learned a lot during that abroad process. But yeah, I mean, everything happens for a reason. I
It's
think that
true.
was a good thing. There.
Yeah, so that's nice. So you had mentioned about hackathons, right? So, and you had said that like that was your very first hackathon, and like before that you were petrified. You were like you had that kind of stereotype like the hackathon is a very big event where we have to do a lot of things. That's a lot of. So, how did you prepare yourself for the hackathon, and how did hackathons help you actually? How did it make you better?
Right. Hackathons. Again, none of the things that I did have. I have zero plan. I didn't have any plan to how to start.
Hmm?
Just the interest to go. Okay, let's give it a proper try. At least give it a solid try. If we win, we win. If we don't win, it's just good experience. So that was our mentality. Right. We were just bunch of second years who are trying to do something cool. We want to take a
Hmm.
good problem statement, do something cool that looks good. It turned out good, and I would say the first win boosted our department, boosted our actual confidence to go
Hmm.
attend.
Hmm.
See, I'm the kind of person I didn't want to go hackathons outside of my college. Like I was a
Okay.
bit reluctant to go out. I would say I have to
Okay.
thank my friends in that part. They said,
Okay.
"Come, we pull my collar, come out. We are going for hackathons outside different colleges or outside city. Travel different states. We'll go try it out." So they pushed me. We went to another hackathon nearby inside because this was in Chennai. We went for another hackathon in Chennai. We were
Okay.
able to win that too,
Okay. Wow.
and we went to Coimbatore. We actually won that too again. So it was
Oh,
three in a
it's
row
a
for
winning
us.
streak. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
we went
nice.
on a 3x winning streak,
Okay.
and there was one hackathon in Rajasthan. We didn't win, but it was a really good experience. We have to travel. It was a good travel experience. We roamed around Rajasthan, and it was both a trip and a hackathon experience.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I would have to thank my friends for that because they pulled me. Like I said, I'm not coming for any of the hackathons. I actually hesitated to go for the first one. People said just go give it a try.
Okay,
And again, those credits are going to go for my friends. Yeah, I did work,
that's
but
nice.
I would say friends did that part where come out of your comfort zone, go, let's go attend a hackathon.
And these are the kind of friends we need in our life. Man. They're pushing you to make yourself better. And amidst a gang who pushes you to do bad habits and all the other things, you have a friend gang who pushes you to do hackathons and all the other good things. That's really nice that you had a gang. And congrats on your winning streak, man. Winning, maybe if they say winning your first hackathon was a beginner's luck, but you just broke that by winning 3 or 4 hackathons continuously. And it's not always about the winning, right? It's about the learning process
Exactly.
also. That's what we understand or we appreciate most about hackathons, like the ability to crack a problem statement within 24 hours or 36 hours, working under pressure. And even the judges will come and say some things, they will say to change these things, we have to respond in that situation. No, I feel that if you are able to work in a hackathon, I feel that hackathons prepare you for an interview or prepare you for a job to work in a corporate environment. What do you feel about that?
True, exactly. I mean, different hackathons uh, forced us to look at different parts of the project. First one was
Okay.
just pure development stuff. Second
Mm-hmm.
one, we had to look at the problem statement from a bigger picture. Third one
Mm-hmm.
was proper business pitching. So we had some really good judges who asked us to, like, they said, go, I know you guys are capable, go around, go deeper. It's fine, you guys get those dark circles under your eyes. Just don't sleep, go out, max it out, and come up with a good solution. Luckily, we were able to do with some creative work. And again, it was a proper teamwork there. We had a really good team of five. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that group, we used to have these 10 people.
Okay.
So every single time, if there was a hackathon, we will not be there in our classes. Like 10 people, kind of a 40, we won't be there. And
Okay.
I would say it's not, I think this is very common in college that after some point you don't want to stay in classes, you want to stay outside, do something. And that was our main
True,
intention.
man.
We didn't want to go develop more. We just don't want to be in our classes. We have to do something worthwhile. So that was a pure intention to go out. It turned out to be really great. So it
So
was a
going
really good.
hackathons to bunking classes. I mean, that I also did
We're
the
doing
same.
something
Even
productive.
in
I wouldn't call it bunking
yeah,
classes.
that's
We're
true.
doing something productive. I mean,
Yeah.
that's exactly what happened because we got recognized around college across different departments. Uh,
Yes.
we had professors from robotics giving us ideas and different project ideas, want to work with us,
Okay.
and we were able to take up events again. They were
Okay.
confident to give us events because we actually went down, did some hackathons, had some
Hmm.
proof
Hmm. Hmm.
that college is actually giving us opportunity to conduct events.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
they called us as judges for different
Hmm.
events after
Okay.
we graduated. So
Wow.
that was, I mean, everything came out of hackathons. Most of my stuff actually came out of hackathons, and I'm
Hmm.
really happy that I went down that path. The hackathon grind, different projects. Being project oriented actually helped me out.
Okay.
So I have to say, I'm thankful for my friends during that time. I mean, there has to be something. We'll actually look at different events. We are not going to stay at class. Get OD. First thing, go get OD from HOD. Just get out of class. Do something.
And
We'll
you
go
just
on
enjoyed
different.
your college life.
Yeah, I mean, different professors are actually happy with working with us because
Hmm.
they
Hmm.
have different goals to do with these junior students, and we were
Hmm.
really okay because we want to do something that is, we don't want to sit in classes and sit down lectures. We want to go
Hmm.
out and just do something and not just sit in class. I mean, I'm not saying not to go sit in class again. Go.
Come on.
There are
Yeah.
some fundamental classes that are actually worth there, but
And
some
yeah,
are
if you're
interesting. But
so
yeah,
if
yeah,
your
go ahead.
juniors and my juniors listen to this and they bunk classes, sorry, we are not responsible for this.
You're not
Please do
responsible.
attend classes. That is important. But in the meantime, if you have free time, go for hackathons, push yourself because the amount of learning you get from that, no classroom or no professor can you give that kind of a learning. That's what you can get
Exactly.
or pick up from a
See,
hackathon.
I think this is how you have to frame it. Go to classes when you're free. Do hackathons and events the rest of it.
Come on, man. Again, when something is going to happen to this
No,
video, then
I
it will
mean,
be because of
colleges
you
are
only.
actually pushing. I mean, I would say after graduating, I did have some connect with our juniors.
Okay.
And what I can currently see is
Hmm.
the college is actually pushing students for attend events. Sure,
Okay. That's
academics is
nice.
important, but they're
Yes.
actually pushing students to attend events, conduct events.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
They want students to reach out. And, uh, Yeah, it might be beneficial for the college, but it's going to be beneficial for you too. I mean, go out, do things. I mean, yeah, you can learn, but the point is you have to go out and go work and take up that
Yeah.
opportunity. Yeah. Because given
Mhm.
again, hackathons are again important because you have to do those the pitch business pitches because some hackathons ask for it.
Yes,
Being an
true.
introvert myself, and every time I have to go out and give that speech, I
Hmm.
had that. I mean, first time I stumbled, second time decent, third time okay. I was able to give some good amount of pitch text.
Hmm.
So again, it works on the communication part, soft skill part.
Yes,
You
true.
you get that mentorship from different people, and it's worth it. I would say, yeah, you have 4 years of college. Go out, do things, and stay in class too. Take,
Come on, balance both. Don't listen
yeah,
to us in bunk classes. We are not responsible for that.
I'm actually saying stay in class, but maybe it
Yeah,
depends. I mean,
true. No, no. Yeah, yeah, yes, I get it, man. I also did the same. We were in the hackathons. Lot of hackathons. We stayed in the same room. That's how we got
yeah,
introduced. Also, that was really nice.
yeah.
So, what kind of tips would you give for a starter or a fresher? Because hackathons has become a trend or a buzzword right now, and many students are like interested to work in hackathons, but they don't have the idea on how to start. So, what kind of tips or advices can you give to those students who are interested to work or how they want to win an hackathon? So what kind of advice or tips can you give it to them?
See, there are two ways that you can approach hackathons. One, it's pure developmental. Like you go for the time crunch.
Okay.
It's basically a full-on crash course where you are doing the crash course for yourself.
Okay.
That's exactly what's happening. So
Mm-hmm.
you are the one, you are watching the videos and you learn. It's like I would say the same technology given 2 weeks of time and given 2 days of time. I'm pretty sure you would learn more in that 2 days given because you are put in that time crunch. Because in 2 weeks you would start procrastinating and you won't learn it completely. That 2 days time crunch is going to help you more than the 2 weeks of time. So
Mm-hmm.
that is one way of looking at hackathons. See,
Okay.
winning, I would say it's subjective. Sure, it'll start hurting that you keep going for hackathons, but you don't win. You would
Hmm.
have that knack that at least second prize, third prize. If not winning, you would expect that. I would say some good projects do come out become winners of hackathons, but again, staying on the recent tech would
Mm-hmm.
improve the chances of winning the hackathon.
Okay.
The hackathons are pushing you to do projects that are different, at least, and then that are the next tech, not the very next tech, not the current tech. Sure, they
Okay.
look at projects that are actually good at with using the current tech, but they actually want students to push the current, no, push or try out the underrated or the niche topics because they
Okay.
want to see how it's going to fit with the market. So if you are talented in a very niche place, try adding it into a different place and just try different combinations. It might just work out. It's just
Okay.
about give it some random combination. Just try that random combination. It might work out of the blue. So it's just you just have to go give it a try.
Okay. That's really great, man. Because but whatever you said might work in some cases because hackathons, some cases companies might come and sit in the hackathons, judge jury members will be
Exactly.
from companies, or sometimes hiring also happens to hackathons. So it's not always about the winning, but go and push yourself, just participate. It's a very first thing. And whatever you said was true. Like work on underrated technologies that analyze the competition, because whenever you look at a hackathon, when you go and register for broader streams like AI, data science, you will be having thousands and 2000s of team working in the same thing. But instead,
Exactly.
when you fine tune and go with something very specific, then the competition is less also, and there are more chances. So that's
Exactly.
great. These are some good tips that I also recommend to my juniors, and that is what is adequate to start with also. So
And
how do
start
you?
with the
Yes.
business idea. I'm so sorry for interrupting,
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's fine.
one more point to add is go with the business idea. I mean, have an idea, try to market it. That's exactly
Okay.
what I've seen is that's what hackathons are looking for. You have a cool idea, try to market it. How would you market it, and how would you make profit out of it?
Okay.
And you have good shots in winning hackathons if you have not the complete idea but a rough idea. I mean,
Okay.
because the mentors and the judges are there to guide you through that process, so at least have the rough idea.
Yeah, so it's not always about the development part, it's more than that also. So if you just participate in a hackathon, just don't look at a project competition. It's way more than that. Think that you're developing a product, think about the customer, think about the financial sides also. So have these things in your mind, and this will greatly help you in hackathons. That's true. And like, how do you find the innovative problem statements? How do you come through? Because when you say you know a hackathon is coming and you see the brochures, some hackathons give the problem statements directly. That's okay, it's good for us. But if they don't give and they give in broader niches or domain, how do you track down and how do you come up with something innovative or novel? How do you think about that?
Uh, I mean, you first to think you need to know something is existing. So go to YouTube,
Hmm.
look at the channels which actually give you the current tech, not just the what is going on the trend, something that is not on the trend,
Mm-hmm.
but it's something that's upcoming. So go
Okay.
look at those upcoming parts, try what happens. I mean, just go to the basic tutorial, try it out, and see what kind of ideas you get. Probably
Okay.
note it down. That if you get good ideas, note it down, record it, and do that for different parts. And do the popular part. Or like try linking those underrated to the existing ones, and you'll get those different combinations. And go through LinkedIn. There are different creators who put out, not creators especially, like different students who put out really creative solutions. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
everything is just a mix of different ideas, and you might get inspirations from different projects too. All you have to do is think from a different perspective, and you'll get that. I mean, if you have to think from a different perspective, you just have to know that these perspectives are existing in this area. So
Okay.
again, just go out, explore different newses, the existing tech news. Just stay on the state of the art, and you don't
Mm-hmm.
have to know the entire architecture. Know it to a such extent where you can actually understand and start building out new ideas out of it. You don't have to go
Okay.
completely deep. If you're interested, go down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not not forcing you to not go deep, but if
Mm-hmm.
you're interested, completely go deep into that tech, but have the basic knowledge like how it works from a at least in the superficial level, and you'll be able
Mm-hmm.
to have different combinations of ideas.
Yeah, that's nice, whatever you said. Like you can get inspiration from looking whatever has been done till now, and even looking at the underrated domains and whatever is gonna come up. Because I never thought in that way. You had also like enlightened me or giving another direction. So to look on things which are gonna come up later. If we start working on it, then there is a lot of chances that we might do something good. So that's a great conversation we had about hackathons. And next, you had mentioned in your career, I mean, in your educational career about research. So can you talk a bit about research? What did you do regarding the research things?
Right. Okay. So okay, not to drift away to the
Okay.
last topic we talked. Find the right group to. I mean, this is again emphasizing just find the right people,
Okay.
because you're not going to find all the topics. There are some
Mm-hmm.
people who will be interested in different parts. So you have the
Okay.
right friends. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter you talk something that's away from tech. You get ideas from different places. Even a movie would give you the inspiration. So
Okay.
having the right circle would give you those ideas.
Okay.
So I would say I would add that. And coming to research,
Okay.
yes, research started from Capgemini. My first research was Capgemini in the internship. I started from there, medical image processing. I went down that again a rabbit hole. Started
Mm-hmm.
looking at different architectures,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw that some of the professors from the department were interested in that part. From my
Okay.
department, from different departments were interested. So again, third year, fourth year, they might expect papers, or at least in some journals or in some
Mm-hmm.
conferences. So again, fourth year, I had to publish one paper for sure. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought, I don't want to. Medical field is very untapped during that point. This is 2022, 2023, before graduating. So this was exactly right after ChatGPT started. So there was not a lot of
Mm-hmm.
different support. AI was not progressing this fast, how it
Yes.
is going right now.
Mm.
So at that time, medical image was a field that I can touch upon,
Okay.
where I can go find those different parts. I would start looking at domains of medical field where I can understand those different terminologies and different
Okay.
parts. I mean, because I worked on brain during my internship, brain images, MRI scans.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
thought, okay, something to do with brain, and I had other people who did some with lung cancers and lung CT scans. I mean, different types of image methods like PET, CT, different parts. So I
Mm-hmm.
got experiences. I was able to look at different people's code and okay, this is how things were done. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought, okay, first research was again to it was actually using transformers, like using proper transformer architecture for 3D 3D medical scans. So it was
Okay.
using transformers there. It
Okay.
was it was done in like very high level research. I just wanted to try it from. I just tried to make something better from that research. So first was that. Second was again with 3D medical imaging, but I went for optimization of the AI models.
Okay.
So I tried making the AI model more optimized, like make it more power
Mm-hmm.
efficient, compute efficient. So
Mm-hmm.
have to worked on I worked on the optimization and I worked on the domain. So it was I got two different parts there. So that was
Okay.
a really good project to work on, and I know the college provided me access to good systems too for that project.
That's very
So
important. Considering 3D, you need good GPUs, RAMs, and all, right?
yeah, so I have to thank them to so they gave me a good enough system. So we would just literally stress testing the entire system. It would just run for 6 hours, 4 hours, and it will run at 80%, 90%. And yeah, I mean, we capitalized on the resource that we got. So I have to
Okay.
be thankful for them to be able to do these advanced research according to my knowledge. It might be not advanced when you
Come on, man. That's
consider.
advanced only, man. Like 3D image segmentation, 3D image classification is like whatever you said, right? Underrated domain. So this is something underrated because majority of the AI works are being performed in 2D. 3D is limited to research only and not more on the production side or in companies. Whatever medical AI companies I have seen are majority they're working in 2D data only. They haven't pushed much on 3D. So working on 3D is something underrated and that is going to boom up in the coming years. So when you say AI and medical, I feel the biggest thing that's going to come up is 3D processing, 3D AI in 3D data, some kind of thing. So I feel whatever you did was quite advanced at that time. And how did you come to know about the research terminologies? Like there was things like literature survey. You needed to understand the literature, write them. How did you go through the process of writing a research paper? So did you learn about that? Did some teachers teach you? How did you learn the research component of doing the project?
Again, most of my learnings are from YouTube. I would
Okay.
see there are some videos there that say how do you write a research paper.
Okay.
Look at identify the important points, and again,
Mm-hmm.
professors are going to guide us to how to write a research paper.
Mm-hmm.
So professors helped us to these kind of things will work, and this is how you
Mm-hmm.
have to frame the sentences, and this is how you have to put it out. And they told us about okay, there are different journals and different indexes, and for
Mm-hmm.
each journal the structure is different, and you have to follow all these, and the process there are different aspects to something that happens before publishing a paper. So
Mm-hmm.
all that happened again. For Capgemini laid the foundation. I worked on the foundations. Their professors helped me work on the foundations. They had really good head of departments. They were helping us get through different. They were constantly updating us with different conference that was happening around Chennai and during
Okay.
our college. So they said, go push a paper and write one. It will be helpful for your resume, and it was actually
Mm-hmm.
helpful. So I was able to do different research there too, and slowly again videos I would read because you tend to read 50, 60, 70 papers and
Mm-hmm.
you don't understand the concept completely, but you start to understand how they start writing the papers, like how they name, how they
Mm-hmm.
the kind of sentence formation that they have. It's
Mm-hmm.
formal, but you have to be very technical too. Sometimes they will not be technical. You have to be technical at different parts of the section. Some parts you shouldn't be very technical, but you should just let's say abstract parts. You don't go very deep into the technical part. You just give the entire overlay. So such writing happened. So I mean, writing was there. So because I was also the chief of the newsletter was happening, chief editor in my
Okay.
in the department's
That's
newsletter. So
okay.
again, writing was I had that experience of writing technical writing. So
Mm-hmm.
that shifted here
Mm-hmm.
for research too. So it was a
Okay.
tad bit easy there.
Yeah, that's nice. So, like, you had a holistic experience in your bachelor's, like you had worked on hackathons and you did an internship also, research. So, like, you had explored the different parts, and in one or the other way, they were interrelated, and working on everything and helped you to become better or in the situation where you're right now. So, you had mentioned that you are planning to do your masters in abroad, and whatever you're doing right now is correct because having a 1 or 2 years work experience and then doing masters is what many people recommend right now. So what's your plan? Like, where are you planning to do a masters? Can you just talk a bit about that?
No, no. I mean, currently I have zero plans. Again, I always have zero plans.
Okay. Okay.
And I had a plan. I mean, I was intending to go for Scandinavian countries,
Okay.
especially because I was intrigued and interested in the kind of system that they had,
Okay.
education system. It was different. It is completely different from how US is done, US and UK,
Hmm.
and there's a difference. So I was interested there, and I thought maybe okay, it is interesting. So we'll work, get some
Hmm.
experience, and
Hmm.
find the fields that are interesting. Because again,
Okay.
through my college, I worked measure after second, third year. I was mostly working in computer vision,
Hmm. Hmm.
and
Hmm.
my work is based mostly on NLP part.
Hmm.
So generative AI and
That
NLP.
was,
So
yeah,
now I'm
yeah.
gaining experiences. So CV is there, NLP. Then I have Gen AI, and I'm just compounding different parts of AI.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I would say explore more because the current work, because I'm working in again startup field, is going to give me more opportunities to work on different domains. So
True.
so that is going to give me some compounding effects of skills.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
After that, I might decide like, do I still have?
Okay.
Will I be still going for Scandinavian countries again,
Hmm.
US,
Hmm. Hmm.
UK,
Hmm.
or probably do it in India too? So it's
Okay.
gonna
So
depend
that's
on the
nice.
situation.
Yeah, so like your situation and mine is kind of different. So that's where my next question is. So I did my bachelor's in biomedical, and in my third year or fourth, like whatever we did was both the same, but we were in different departments. That was the only difference. So
Okay.
I was also working in computer vision, image processing, and I got fascinated. And then I thought, okay, maybe I should learn this in depth, and that was the inspiration for me to do masters in AI. So, but what would be your case? Because what the question I have is doing bachelor's in AI, doing masters in AI, what would be the difference, or is it necessary to do another degree in AI? So what's your take on this?
Right. If I'm gonna do a master's, it will be mostly in AI or some
Mm-hmm.
specialization in AI for
Mm-hmm.
sure. And see, bachelor's in AI. The point is, I've seen some of the syllabus for masters in AI in Indian colleges and abroad colleges. You are going to learn what you learned in bachelor's, but in
Mm-hmm.
bachelor's you learn only the bare basics. Usually in
Okay.
masters you are tend to go very deep for the foundations. Like you already have the foundation. Now you're going to go deep into that foundation. Like you will go deep and you'll go above too. So you learn the state of the art and you go deep. So masters is going to give you that part. That is not going to happen in bachelor's. At least the mentality with bachelor's, you're supposed to go explore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you can't do both exploration, breadth, and depth. You
Hmm.
can, but you have to be working really, really hard for that. So masters is going to give you that. Again, in masters, you will be exploring to some extent. That is my guess,
Mm-hmm.
but you'll be going more deep into the topics. The breadth
Okay.
is going to reduce, and you'll go more deep. That's my assumption. That's how I think it would be.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
And
And maybe like in a one-liner to say, bachelor's is jack of all trades and masters and your master's is master of one. So in a bachelor's, you try to explore a lot of things, and masters you cut down and come to one and try to focus more on that. Yeah.
exactly. I mean, again, it's a subjective thing.
Yeah,
You
that's
can
true.
do again explore a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and some people will tend to specialize and go for a PhD. So that's where they go down the rabbit hole of
Mm-hmm.
their topics. And again, some people will reduce the breadth of their search, but will go deep.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
that's going to happen in masters. Again, it's personal preference. If you want to go
Yeah,
specialize in
that's
one
true.
part, it's there. I mean, given the part, you have to have some domain knowledge away from AI, some
Hmm.
field-based domain knowledge like bio, physics, chemistry,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, it started to get intermingling where you should know AI, and people
Mm-hmm.
think AI is just about okay, you write code in Jupyter notebooks, Python. You get the model accuracy, precision recall. No, that's what even I thought. No, that's where what happens is AI is going to happen, and you have to learn software engineering. So again, people tend to have that distinction that okay, it's software engineering AI. No, you have to do both. A is
Hmm.
actually you need to do CS, then AI.
Hmm.
So you have to do
Hmm.
additional work when you have to do AI.
Hmm. Hmm.
Try ML ops. You still
Hmm.
have to know how web development is going to work, how a mobile is going to work, and you
Hmm.
have to see how AI is
Hmm.
going to fit into those cases.
Yes, true, true, true.
So again, you'll have to go explore. So again, with web development, at least you have to know the basic concepts of web development, like how web
Hmm.
is going to
Hmm.
work, and
Hmm.
create basic, look with websites that are good enough,
Hmm.
which is actually functional enough to present your ideas, your at least proof of concepts, or
Hmm.
mobile apps that are good enough.
Hmm.
And people are no more interested in just showing Jupyter notebooks. This is the result. Show me an application, end-to-end application.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Host it somewhere
Hmm.
and show me the final application. Just send me the link of the application. No, we'll be able to gauge your skills from
Yeah.
there.
Hmm. Like there's
So
no point just showing the Jupyter notebook. AI is about deployment and showing it how it works in the real time. Without that,
yeah,
I feel there is not much to do. And my next question was about that topic, and you had already started with that. So the question that I have right now is, how do you make yourself job ready in AI? Because that is the one of the biggest questions many students have right now. Because AI is a buzzword. A lot of students have started reading AI. So even take me, I'm a biomedical engineer, but I have also started reading AI. And there are AI students, CS students. Many people are reading AI, but there are not that much of vacancies. So how do you make yourself job ready? What things should you do so that you are job ready in AI?
right. So even I had the question like I saw people from mechanical engineering coming into data analysis, data mining, data
Mm-hmm.
science. I had people coming from law to AI. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, see, I studied 4 years AI, and you guys are coming. You did some other domain, coming in AI. Where am I going to go for the job? Da? Like, I have to do
So
something.
do you have that vengeance on me also?
No, no, no. See,
Okay,
I
okay.
appreciate people who are actually coming from different domains because it
Mm-hmm.
takes some amount of courage to change domains or at least learn another domain.
Mm-hmm.
True, you have to start, I mean, keep on updating yourself, but
Mm-hmm.
domain shifting is a risky thing that you have to take your own risk there. And I
True.
have respect for people who are tending to move from different domains because it takes a whole lot of effort to unlearn, at least not unlearn, learn a new thing that is not, you didn't do it for until that point of
Mm-hmm.
your life and you have to do it again. That
Mm-hmm.
learning has to happen. So I have respect for them. But again, coming to preparing for jobs, again, people who are tending to do bachelor's in AI,
Mm-hmm.
what I've seen is colleges tend to push the foundations. Okay, the foundations good. You need interviews. Look for foundations. I
Mm-hmm.
did interviews where people literally asked me, explain about transformer architecture in depth.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, first, second question will be that explain transformer architecture. Like,
Okay.
okay, sure. They'll expect you to at least draw out the diagrams, how the
Mm-hmm.
connection is, how the architecture is. Like, you should have it in your mind. So that
Mm-hmm.
foundation you're going to get from the college syllabus.
Mm-hmm.
And most colleges tend to like, again, it's a buzzword. Given it's a buzzword, you're going to learn more about AI, different domains in AI. But the point is, you have to connect computer science with AI. I mean, that's the minimum you have to do to get a job now.
Mm-hmm.
Create something in AI and
Mm-hmm.
know how to deploy it. So you have to, if you know how to have to deploy it, means you have to learn how CS works. You have to
Mm-hmm.
see, okay, when I deploy, these are the things that have to be taken care. So you learn about cloud computing, you deploy it somewhere, and when you have to do web development because you have to either do web or mobile application to showcase what you have done.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, there are different ways to do show your Python stuff just using Python. Like you have Gradio or different methods
Streamlit,
to
Flask,
Streamlit.
yeah.
Okay, so that is existing, but to be different from the rest of the crowd, you have to do something different. Like
Hmm.
go learn something very good, good stack in web development, and use your AI skills. Put it there. You don't have to go completely full-on web developer there. Basic knowledge or intermediate
Hmm.
knowledge, and combine it with AI.
Hmm.
Or mobile application, have intermediately mobile application where you're good enough, given an idea, you can create some basic application. That's the basic idea. Like you should be able to have a
Mm-hmm.
conversation with some of the developers. So that's the basic knowledge you need to have. And have your AI. AI is always going to be a specialization, but you need to have that part. That's bare minimum that's required right now. And bare minimum to require right now to actually land a good enough job. I'm talking like you still get jobs, but data analysis,
Mm-hmm.
data mining is pure just Python and work. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that is completely different. Where you have to do storytelling, where you have the data and you interpret it, you put it in graphs, and so that's a different part. So again, people have to look into their own ideas and how their pluses and minuses and identify like, are you a pro like hardcore? You don't have to be hardcore, but you like coding. Choose a path where you do both parts, where you do both CS and AI, or you like speaking, or you like creating stories and go for data analysis and data mining. But again, if you're going to go that way, you're going to start learning about businesses because you have to somehow
BI.
relate that. Yeah, so you learn about business intelligence and you put it inside, and you have to have good communication there. So that's a whole lot of different skills that you have to have. So you have to choose a path there.
Mm-hmm. Mm, yeah,
So
so like whatever you said was true. That's CS. Now you have to understand that students here, you have to understand that it's even though it's AI job, it's not only about AI. You need to know the other things also.
yeah,
So like from my perspective, if you see, then I would suggest even having the domain knowledge would be important. If you know the domain very well, then you will, if you know the domain well and if you know AI well, then you can work on novelties and innovations there. But if you want to
yeah,
work in a corporate environment as a software role, then I think it is better you learn integrating AI with other technologies, like how do you deploy models, how do you use ML ops, and how do you deploy it in web apps or mobile apps, and how do you leverage cloud, then SQL. So all the other technologies you have to, if you need not learn everything well, but at least understand how AI is integrated with those technologies.
yeah. And people have started. I thought people say start using AI tools.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a clickbait for different YouTube videos.
Okay.
After I started working, I thought actually use AI tools.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've seen a lot of people code. Like to-do list is a common thing to do with web development. It's
Mm-hmm.
literally a 2 minute job right now with ChatGPT, Claude, or something. It's literally 2 minutes. Follow the steps, you're
True.
done. So the point is, uh, learn the basics, but start using AI tools because you know how the basics work. But start using AI tools. Be ahead on the curve, and yes, people have different opinions on how AI is gonna do it for other jobs. But what I've clearly seen is that if you start using AI, you're gonna have a good AI tools. You'll have better chances than other people in your competitive zone.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think you don't need to give that advice. Many people are doing that already. Many
Yeah,
of the like your daily tasks, it's being done by AI tools only. And you know which web developer is sitting and hard coding HTML, CSS, JS now.
yeah,
They just give
exactly,
the template to ChatGPT. It will give everything whatever you want. So but it is important that you understand whatever is happening to clear the interviews. And majorly, if ChatGPT does something wrong, you need to know what it is doing wrong and you have to figure it out,
exactly.
because every time ChatGPT won't give the right answer, or any GenAI tool. So regarding that, I would like to ask you another question regarding LLMs and GenAI. So that is the buzzword, right? That's being right now, and every student I visit, they come to me. They just ask me, how should I learn LLMs? How should I learn LLMs from scratch? Like I don't know any idea in AI, but I want to learn LLM. But I am a controversial person, like I take this on the opposite side. So actually, I'm not that much into LLMs, GenAI, and other things, because the entire world is running behind that, and that is also going to saturate ultimately at a point of time, and after that something else will come and people will be running behind that. So what's your take on that, like LLMs, Gen AIs? Is it a necessity that everyone should learn that, or how do you think about that?
Uh, okay, but see, this is again partially my opinion and what I've seen online. And
Okay.
LLMs are here to stay, is what people say,
Mm-hmm.
and I see the point. Like some form of LLM will exist.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they say 2025 is going to be year of agents, agentic AI. The
Mm-hmm.
base is going to be LLMs. The agents are based off of the LLM part.
Mm-hmm.
I would say not to ignore AI. I mean, it's sure you don't have to go down completely deep, understand LLMs, and because these big companies do more than LLMs part, because there is a lot of optimization that's happening. We see that we create an LLM and
Mm-hmm.
it's done. Oh, there is so much optimization. I mean, the entire RL reinforcement learning human feedback loop requires a human feedback in that loop. So there is some form of optimization is there,
Mm-hmm.
and that you're going to learn again. That's CS, and some of it is AI, and I mean, understanding LLMs will give you an edge in the market for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That is there. But learning it from scratch, again, if you have interest and you intend to do something out of it, go ahead, completely do it. And there are enough resources to teach you the basics of LLMs. And building one will take some professional experience, I think. At least that exposure to building large scale LLMs will have, you need to have that exposure. But again, if you're really interested to go okay, there, go down that and understand that concepts and tech properly.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm not going to say that LLMs is. What I'm trying to say is it will get saturated in a few years. You can see like many startups are working in LLMs. And this was the trend that happened when CNNs came, maybe of 7 or 8 years before when efficient nets and all the other nets came. People started working more intense or bizarre on this sides. And once the vision transformers or LLM started, people just started shifting. And now some of the advisors I meet or some of the industrial people I meet, they say that the trend is going to shift to audio. However, it's subjective. So, like this kind of a huge transformer and application or LLMs kind of generative AI for audio is what is the next big thing that they are saying. What I'm trying to saying is the big things are going to shift again and once for every years. That's gonna the trend shifting is gonna be there. But I'll say that maybe when after 5 or 6 years, don't you feel LLMs would be saturated?
It will be saturated. I
Hmm.
mean, see, things are gonna be saturated for sure. I mean, people are gonna go towards what is popular,
Hmm.
and the thing is, you said about CNNs, and we will move to transformers. See, the point is, only you understand convolutional neural really well, you will understand transformers,
Hmm.
because some of the base layers for
Hmm.
transformers
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
CNN.
Hmm. Hmm.
You have to understand transformers to understand LLMs. So there is a
Hmm.
cascading effect that is happening. Even
Yes.
if it comes down to audio, let's say, as per
Hmm. Hmm.
the
Hmm. Hmm.
industry experts have told you, and I see that the text to speech or speech to speech is going through a lot of changes with
Hmm. Hmm.
AI part. I
Hmm.
think ultimately the engine is going to be LLMs there. So you
Hmm.
need to have some understanding of LLMs. I
Hmm.
think
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
it is becoming a part where it is going to stay. It is something that's going to stay.
Hmm.
Again, it will be like CNN,
Hmm.
because people still don't talk about CNN, but it will be there. It's going to be the base part for
Hmm.
upcoming changes. So
Hmm.
and we have to learn the fundamentals. This is going to become a fundamental. Now
Yes.
it's the trending topic. Like 1 or 2 years is going to
Hmm.
become the fundamentals.
Hmm. So it's like a chain. So CNN
Yeah,
started, then we have Transformers, then LLMs, and maybe what how do we know? Maybe in a few years later, LLMs will become the basics for. There was like something called LAMs, right? Language
yeah.
action models, large language action models. So there are things which will take LLMs as base also. So whatever you said is true. And Chandrakant, like we're coming to the final question of this podcast. So, what advice would you give to any student or anyone who's interested to learn AI? What's your take, or what would you tell? So, if any junior is coming to you and asking for your advice in a very holistic way, what things would you say to them? Like average aspects.
Okay. First thing, I mean, interest is key first. So
Hmm.
AI is always going to change. I mean, it's in the transitionary period. You have to be ready to look at different state of the arts. You need to be ready to adapt to the new changes. That's going to be number one.
Hmm.
And you need to somehow balance the state of the art with the fundamentals and the
Hmm.
projects.
Hmm.
So projects and theory will somehow go hand in hand. Like you will work on advanced projects, but
Hmm.
you'll start learning the basics too. Like every time you do a project, start learning the basics also. Like it depends. Some people will tend to learn the theory completely, then move on to projects. Some people would like to
Hmm.
do the projects and start learning the theory behind one by one.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So you can take whatever approach you want to take,
Hmm.
which suits you, and go with the method you have and start creating projects. Sure,
Hmm.
jobs are still going to look for DSA. That's still going to exist. So
Hmm.
I See, this is my opinion is that you have to be creative. People are looking for creative ideas, and
Hmm.
creativity will come if you know what is existing already. Like there are some problem statements where you think you need to have a solution, but
Hmm.
there might be some fundamental concept that you missed while learning. And the minute you start, you know that concept, you know that you find that missing piece, and you attach it. Like okay, it comes as a big picture, and you
Hmm.
start seeing
Hmm.
different applications out of it.
Hmm.
So somehow you have to manage fundamentals, the building blocks, and
The
the real
advance.
time
Hmm.
projects that you have to do. And if you're in college, stay in class and stay outside too. Do
Yeah.
both. Also, just somehow find that balance. Yes,
Hmm. Hmm.
and college is one safe place you can go or take risks too. Like, sure, you're gonna get scoldings from probably your professors. Have those scoldings like probably like 5 times, 10 times. Just dust it off and keep working. And find that group. I mean, right group, right intentions, and just the motivation to go forward will help you. Don't burn out too. Like,
Hmm.
sure, I
Hmm.
mean, I've said do a lot, take
Hmm.
breaks for sure. Go out, take breaks, and just have fun in the process. I mean, sometimes you tend to be like, okay, this is so much happening. I have to start keeping up with all the technologies.
Hmm.
Take a break, come back again. You will have better understanding.
Hmm.
It's somehow you have to find a way. You have to be chill but still fast. That would be the better way to move forward, according to me. Like, I mean, I don't want to get burned out, so I would
Hmm.
say have to
Hmm.
find a way. I'm chill but still moving fast, so that would work.
Okay.
And that's also
That's
just
yes.
enjoy college life.
Hmm. That's true, man. Because we're not sure whether we'll, because it's a golden period we have. I am sure that both you and me would be missing our college days, whatever fun we had at that time. That's
True.
there. Yeah. So thank you, Chandrakant, for joining this podcast. It was really fun and interesting talking with you, interacting about a lot of different topics, getting to know a lot about the trending things in the market, what things are going on, how did you plan your college things, and all the other. So I wish you all the best for your future endeavors, and whatever path you came till now was something big and it is something great, and I wish the best for your future. So let's see. Thank you so much for coming to this podcast. It was really great
Thank you.
talking with you.
Thank you, Saram. I mean, I have to thank you that you called me for this podcast, and I'm thankful for it. And it was good connecting with you again, and hearing
Yeah.
about AI and the new technologies that's coming up. Yes, it's. I'm actually happy that we had this conversation. And I have to thank you for this.
Yeah. Okay. See you. Bye bye, Chandrakant. So, guys, it was indeed an interesting and a fun podcast we had with Mr. Chandrakanth. We got to know a lot about him, about how he prepared for hackathons, how he prepared his 4 year bachelor life, his future plan, about his internship, about his research career, and how each of these steps are interdependent and how everything made him a better person. So, stay tuned for many more upcoming podcasts that going to come up like this. We are going to call about many people like this who have a great career in AI, who are done a lot of good things in AI. So we are going to talk with them, interact with them, get to know a lot of things. Maybe they will give some advices or they will give a lot of tips and tricks on how you can make the best of your engineering life and how you can achieve the dream that you're looking to. So please do like, share this video to all the people, to all your friends, colleagues, or whoever juniors, seniors who are interested to have a career in AI, who is interested to learn about hackathons, research, and all the other things. And do follow and do subscribe Biomed Bros for such fun and interesting content. A lot is going to come up for sure, guys. So, signing off, your podcaster, Sarah Maditya. Bye bye.